Hello, welcome to the Quicksilver Adventuring Company. Today, I want to continue my series of discussing class changes between the 2014 and the 2024 Player's Handbook. And today, I'm going to go over the Sorcerer. When reviewing the core traits for the Sorcerer, nothing's really changed here. Constitution and Charisma are still your main proficiency stats. You're still a D6 for hit points. You still get to pick two from the same skill list for your proficient skills. And then also the only real change, and it's really not much, is you now have proficiency in simple weapons, whereas before it has a short weapon list. Now on the sorcery features table, there's actually no change here at all, except for they've decided to move sorcery points to a different column on the sheet. Other than that, other than the change in location, it's the same. It's the same chart. When it comes to spell casting, there's really not a lot of change here either, but I'll outline what I do see. Cantrips, for example, they function the same. You still get four, but now instead of just gaining new at higher level, you can actually swap them out as you gain level. So if you go from level 4 to 5, you can swap out cantrip, 5 to 6, swap out another cantrip, and so on. But that's new. And then comes the number of spells known. They've changed it from spells known to prepared spells, but it essentially functions the same, except for before you started at 2 and you max out at 15. Now you start at 2 and you max out at 22 at level 20. So they've increased the number of spells you can prepare and know, but other than that, it functions the same. Your spellcasting ability is still charisma, and nothing's changed here. Next is a actual new ability, innate sorcery. Essentially, this allows you to increase the potency of your spells for 1 minute. You can do this twice between long rests, and as a bonus action, you activate it, and then the spell DC of your spells is increased by 1, and you have advantage on sorcerer attack rolls. It's kind of nice. At level 2 is Font of Magic, and this is where you actually start getting sorcery points and have some abilities unique to the sorcerer. You start off with 2 sorcery points, and it goes up in level as shown on the sorcery features table. But you can always refer to that to how many you have, and you regain them all during a long rest. When you're actually converting a spell slot to sorcery points, you actually take the level of the spell slot, and then that is how many sorcery points you gain. So if it's a level 3 spell slot, you gain 3 sorcery points. If it's a level 1, you gain 1 sorcery point. The only real difference is before it was a bonus action on your turn, and now it's a no action required. When you're creating a spell slot from sorcery points on the chart, it's not quite double. So like at level 1, it is 2 sorcery points for 1 spell slot, but follow the chart, and it's just cost more sorcery points than it is for the actual slot. There's actually a new column on the 2024 chart where it's actual minimum sorcerer level to be able to create the slot. It actually makes sense because like a level 5 slot is going to be for level 5 casting, which is level 9, which is what the chart has. So it's pretty much that, except for level 1, where you can cast level 1 spells at level 1. They want you to be level 2 to be able to make it, which makes sense because level 2 is where you gain the ability. Meta magic, where you actually have the ability to modify the spells that you have. I'm not going to actually list out all the options here, but they're in the book. I'm sure you can find them online, but there's 10 in the new 2024 book to choose from. And then as you level up at level 10 and level 17, you gain extra meta magic options. But the only real change here is that you get the ability at level 2 instead of level 3. Next to level 3 is Sorcerer Subclass, which was Sorcerer Origins at level 1, but now it's moved to level 3 and just Sorcerer Subclass, just like all the other classes. I'm not actually going to go into those here. I'll do a video later on for that, but I'm going to stick to just the changes to the base class in this video. Next to level 4 is ability score improvement. And this functions the same. You can go in and get the ability score improvement, or you can go get a feat as the optional in the original book, but now it's just a feat. And like I've said in the other videos, I have no idea why they didn't just call this level 4, you gain a feat, because the ability score improvement is technically a feat. But I'm going to probably harp on this on every video that I do for every class. But hey, next is going to be several new features for the 2024 Sorcerer. For some reason, the original book it jumped from the level 4 ability score improvement up to the level 20 ability, but now they've added some in between. The first new one is Sorcerer's Restoration. This one actually, it's once per short rest. You can regain sorcerer points equal to half your level rounded down. So if you're level 5, it's 2.5. And so then you round that down to 2. So once you do a short rest, you get back to sorcerer points. And you can do this once per long rest. Next is Sorcery Incarnate. This is actually, if you have no uses of innate sorcery left, you can use 2 sorcery points to actually gain the use of innate sorcery. So you can actually do this as a bonus action. And another thing that you gain is when your innate sorcery is active, you actually have the option to use 2 meta magic abilities on each of your spells cast. You don't have to, but you can. Next to level 19, you gain the new one, just like the other classes, Epic Boon. So now you can go in and select an Epic Boon feat. At level 20, sorcerers had the ability called Sorcerer's Restoration. And they actually had the ability to regain at a short or long rest 4 sorcery points. And frankly, I've never played a sorcerer, but my gut says this is kind of weak, and it's probably why they replaced it. It just doesn't feel very strong for a level 20 ability. However, at level 20 on the new one is called Arcane Hypothesis. I think I pronounced that right. But now on when you're using your innate sorcery, then you actually can use your meta magic without actually having to spend points on it. So that seems much more powerful and more in line with level 20 ability than it did back in 2014. That is sorcerer changes in a nutshell. And it feels like just a bunch of increased abilities and a stronger class. I didn't really see anything that was taken away, and bonus actions become no action, or they've become bonus actions from actions, but they've gained extra abilities. So I like the change. It's in line with the other ones that I'm seeing, where they're actually just becoming a little bit stronger of a class. And thank you for watching. If you like the channel, please hit subscribe and like this video. Thanks.